Alright fellas, it is time for another predictions and breakdown video. Today we have UFC 321, Tom Aspinall versus Ciryl Gane, and Daddy Dana is really putting that Middle Eastern oil money to good use because this pay-per-view is stacked. We always get stacked ones in the Middle East. This is taking place in the UAE, in the Etihad Arena, and we have Tom Aspinall versus Ciryl Gane. Someone is going to get annihilated within the first 10 minutes of that fight without a doubt. Then we've got another title fight, which is in the co-main event, which is Virna Jandiroba versus McKenzie Dern for the vacant strawweight title. We have got some amazing fights on this card down it. We have got Mario Bautista versus Umar Nurmagomedov. We've got some other great names as well. We got Jose Miguel Delgado down the bottom. We have got Mateusz Rebecki, who is allergic to putting on boring fights. And most importantly, we've got the big Donnie himself. We got Chris Barnett back, ready for a spinning heel kick KO. We are going to be predicting and breaking down all of the fights on this card, full card predictions, and I'm also going to be giving you guys my fight card awards. So without further ado, let's get into the first fight of Nasrat Haqparast versus Quillan Salkilld. Now this is a late notice fight. Definitely did not think that this would be the fight that would be getting made so late, because this has big implications, especially if Nasrat Haqparast loses, because he's on a 5-fight win streak at the moment. He is looking incredible. He has fought some really big names as well. He's fought Esteban Ribovic. He's fought Jared Gordon. Really entertaining, high-volume kickboxer. And on the other side, we got Quillan Salkilld, who is a very well-rounded prospect coming up from Australia. And he's looking good, man. He's wrestling, got very high output with his takedowns, good control for someone so tall as well. He's got a nice reach on him too. 3-inch reach advantage over Nasrat Haqparast, which I would say would be good if Nasrat wasn't just much better when it came to the striking overall in general. Nasrat, first of all, has much better experience than Quillan Salkilld. Secondly, his kickboxing overall is just more clean. He's more technical. He has really, really nice output, good strike accuracy. There's not really many flaws with Nasrat's striking. And thirdly, the kicker in this fight is Nasrat Haqparast's takedown defense. 84% takedown defense. He stuffs takedowns incredibly well. One of the best sprawlers that I've seen in that lightweight division, in all honesty, especially when it comes to just timing people when they shoot for doubles. He's done it time and time and time again, and that's how he's able to keep it on the feet and just outwork his opponents. That's what he did against Esteban Ribovic in his last fight. And Quillan Salkilld, he needs the takedown offensive threat in this fight to win it. And if he does get it, he's going to be able to control Haqparast pretty well. Salkilld is pretty damn legit when it comes to his wrestling. He's got the strength. He's just got the size and just that ability to blanket on top of the opposition. But when it comes to Nasrat, with that takedown defense, the kickboxing pedigree he has, the speed and the power, I think he's going to be able to outwork Salkilld in this one, especially on 10 days notice against someone like Nasrat who's so seasoned. It's not a humongous risk for Quillan, ultimately, to be honest. Like, if he loses this, it's fine. Like, he can come back from this. I think Nasrat's a huge blow for him because he's so close to the top 15. And if he takes Quillan Salkilld out, this big up-and-coming prospect, then, I mean, I really don't think we can be arguing against Kelvin Gastelum Jr. to get into the bloody top 15, or at least get a damn crack at it, because he is one of the most underrated guys in that damn lightweight division, without a doubt. He definitely deserves his praises, and he's going to be getting more in this fight. He's going to be taking a decision here. I think it's going to be a 29-28. I think Quillan Salkilld will do a good job in the first round of really trying to press Nasrat, at least getting him in the clinch, just working him in the clinch, getting nice knees up the middle, and trying to take him down. I think he's just gonna edge that first round on control, but with Quillan over time not getting Nasrat down, that's where I think Nasrat is just gonna pick up the pace in the second and the third round and really give Salkilld troubles. And if he's doing that cleanly, there's definitely a good opportunity to be taking a round 3/decision pick on Nasrat Haqparast, because he could definitely knock Salkilld out in that third round. He's got 10 KOs to his name. He does have power in his hands. He just fought these guys that are durable as hell. So there is that chance there, but I think Nasrat, to be playing it safe and with the respect of Quillan's wrestling, I think Nasrat's going to take a 29-28 decision with that striking pedigree, just outworking him overall. He could honestly get my upset of the night here. He's probably the second closest to getting it, but I'll explain who gets that award up the card. But definitely a fun fight for a short notice fight, without a doubt, not complaining about it. And this will get moved up the card for sure, but literally has just been released. So yeah, great fight. Nasrat is going to be taking this one. Next up, Valter Walker versus Louis Sutherland. Now, this fight honestly does make a lot of sense in terms of just timelines, because Valter Walker had Muhammad Usman pull out, which we know he hated, and Louis Sutherland had Justin Tafa pull out pretty much in the same week to the week before. So they're both literally without a fight, and it's just perfect timing because they're both ready to go. Valter Walker, we know this guy is a heel hook fucking absolute machine. This guy has had 3 heel hook submissions in his last 3 fights. And Louis Sutherland coming into this, the dude's good. Like, he's very aggressive. He's got power in his hands. He's kind of just like a bull. And he does have decent wrestling, but it's just a bad matchup for like, well, I mean, for him, but it's a bad matchup for like just a lot of guys in heavyweight going against Valter Walker when Valter Walker has this submission pedigree. I just don't see Louis Sutherland having a good time here, especially when Valter gets it to the ground. I don't think Louis is going to have answers. Louis needs to literally press this fucking fight from the start, get in Valter Walker's face, close off that distance, and knock him out. Because aside from that, I think Valter Walker's just got too much for him on the ground. And when it comes to 3 heel hook submissions, we're going to be getting a 4th, man. It's going to be a heel hook in round 1. Let's keep this train going. Louis Sutherland, dude's good, got power, but Valter Walker, more experience. Dude's got the submissions in his game, which is just kryptonite to literally 95% of that damn heavyweight division. And that's Louis Sutherland included. Valter Walker is going to take this fight in round 1, I believe. And Louis is not going to be getting the debut he wants. Next up, Jacqueline Amorim versus Mizuki Inoue. Now, when it comes to Mizuki Inoue, she has been out for quite a while now. She's about 2 to 3 years. She's had really bad ACL injuries. She just has not recovered fully. And I mean, you can literally see with the photo, she's in the bloody Reebok era of the UFC. That's the last photo that we actually have. And Jacqueline Amorim, she has been a lot more active, obviously. And she's been in the top 15 before, now just pushed out. And look, good grappling matchup, good competitive grappling matchup. I mean, 17 submissions between the two of them overall. And I will say Mizuki Inoue, firstly, if you don't know who she is and you're kind of new to the MMA space, firstly, she's not related to Naoya Inoue, the boxer, so there's not some big family lineage of just absolute killers. But she is good in her own right when it comes to the grappling. She's got a good BJJ base. She's got good offensive threats when it comes to arm bars and rear naked chokes. And she's out of the Sarah Longo gym as well, so she's got Matt Sarah there. Very, very good grappling team there. And that's where if Inoue gets this to the ground, regardless of how long she's been out for, she's dangerous. She is. And Amorim, that's something that she's got to be careful of, but aside from that, I think that's pretty much it. I think Jacqueline Amorim, she's just better on the feet. She pressures more so. She's got better tools with her striking. Even though they're not great, they're still better than Inoue's, to be honest. And Amorim as well, she does have the strength. She's got the strength overall. I think she's going to be able to bully Inoue in those close quarter exchanges as well. And she's got a 4-inch reach advantage too. And especially with Inoue on top of that, like even if she was fit, there's problems, but we don't know how fit Inoue is actually going to be. I mean, consistent ACL injuries, it's skewed her career completely. And Amorim's got the momentum as well. She's on a 4-fight win streak. She's a submission machine herself. But I think just with the movement and the striking on the feet and better ground and pound as well, I think that she's just going to be taking this fight pretty clearly, to be honest. Like, it will be competitive transitionally, but that's where I think Amorim is going to want to keep this on the feet. She doesn't want to give Mizuki an out. So if she's smart, she can win this by a 30-27 decision here, to be honest. Moving up the card to Azamat Murzakanov versus Mitch Raposo. Now, this is a very important fight for the both of them. They've both gone 0-2 in the UFC, so they've got to show urgency in this fight. Both of them are flyweights, so they pretty much don't know anything but urgency. Very, very fast-paced division, as we know. And Azamat Murzakanov, very, very good fighter. And I've got to say, I really like Mitch Raposo, but I think it's going to be a bit of struggle street on this one. He's been against killer after killer. I mean, Andre Lima to Azamat Murzakanov, like, Mitch Raposo is getting it done dirty, to be honest. And Azamat Murzakanov, the guy's got power, very, very powerful with his strikes, good timing, good tight strikes as well, even though he's the taller, lankier dude with a much longer reach as well. He's dangerous, man. He dropped Charles Johnson like 2 or 3 times. I heard him multiple times. He's got good submissions with his chokes, and he's got good trips to get the fight to the ground. And Raposo, he's well-rounded as well. He's got good takedown entries. He's got fast hands, but Maxim just has more snap in those hands. His striking is just more dangerous, realistically more dangerous, has the reach advantage overall, and especially with Azamat Maxim against Tagir Ulanbekov, if Mitch Raposo is really not finding any effectiveness on the feet, I mean, I just don't see him getting this to the ground. I don't. Like, I mean, if Tagir Ulanbekov is not taking Maxim down, I don't think Mitch Raposo is. The only thing that's on Mitch Raposo's side is that lower center of gravity and that drive, because Tagir is obviously so tall, but I really just don't see it happening, to be honest. As at Maxim, the guy's got tools everywhere. He's never been finished. And I mean, fought Charles Johnson and Tagir Ulanbekov. They're like, I mean, Mitch Raposo's fought good opposition, but they are great opposition, both ranked opposition. And that's where Azamat Maxim, this is going to be his rewarding time here. I think he's going to get the KO TKO. I think Mitch Raposo in the first round going to really struggle to get Maxim down. Maxim's going to shrug him off. And then Maxim's just going to time that jab. He's going to stun Raposo bad. He's going to really drop him. And then I think he's just going to take him out towards the end of the first round, or possibly the start of the second. I don't think the odds should be like crazy in Maxim's favor, because Mitch Raposo is so well-rounded. He's put on great fights, but ultimately I think it's just a no-brainer that Maxim should be taking this fight overall. But it's hard to say whether it could be a KO TKO, whether it's a submission, or whether it's a decision. Tricky when it comes to specific betting, but I think Maxim's getting it done pretty well here. Next up, Chris Beast Boy Barnett, the spinning heel kick GOAT, is back, and finally against someone who is not a 6'5" fucking giant like Kennedy Nzechukwu. We know Barnett has got the power, he's got the flashy strikes, he's got the just better activity in that striking department, and he's also got the longer reach in this fight too. But when it comes to Hamdy, I don't want to rain on Chris Barnett's parade. I want him to win this fight. I really fucking do. But Hamdy does have the wrestling. He's got the wrestling on his side, as well as clean boxing too. Strict boxing, he's honestly probably just as clean, if not cleaner than Barnett. Like, Barnett weirdly just needs the range when he's just like short and pudgy. But yeah, Hamdy, I think, man, just the wrestling and the clinch-based exchanges, it's going to be really hard for Barnett when this fight is really in close distance. Like, he's just not going to be effective, whereas Hamdy is going to be much more effective. And I think Hamdy, don't get me wrong, if he's not getting Barnett down straight away, like, Hamdy's going to struggle with the strike speed of Barnett. Like, he's so just unassuming when it comes to that strike speed, but Hamdy's going to be well aware of that. And, you know, he's going to struggle with the unorthodox strikes a little bit, I do think, but the last 2 rounds, I'm going to take Hamdy with the wrestling overall, but I'm making it a split decision for Hamdy, because if Barnett, especially through into that 3rd round, if he is like better with his gas tank and Hamdy starts to slow down and he can't get those takedowns, if Hamdy can't take Barnett down, Barnett has the advantage without a doubt. His striking overall is just better. So that's where I think it's going to be close. It's going to be entertaining, a fun little scrap, or a fun fucking big scrap. But I just think Hamdy, when it comes to that wrestling-based control overall and the cage control, I think that's where he's just going to edge this fight, with round 2 and round 3 just edging that one. Next up, Nate Wood versus Jose Miguel Delgado. This is a fucking sick fight. I'm so keen for this. Whoever wins, this should seriously be looking damn close to a crack at that top 15 in featherweight. Nathaniel Wood has fought opposition after opposition after opposition that are all high caliber. He's put on really good fights. He just needs to get a finish. He really does. But him signing the contract for this fight, I mean, don't get me wrong. Wood, the kickboxing is good. He's got high volume, good movement on the feet. He's got accurate striking. He's just traditionally very sound. And he looked great against Morgan Charrier, who's another guy who's looking incredible at the moment. And he's beaten guys like Andre Feely. He's beaten guys like Charles Jourdain. That strike speed and that movement are there. And he's good at dictating pace. And the experience should come through for him a little bit. But Delgado, man, this guy is good. Seriously special. Like, he's 5'11" compared to 5'6". He's got a 4-inch reach advantage here. He's a big featherweight, and the guy's boxing is dangerous. Like, what he did to Haider Emil in his last fight, beautiful knee up the middle, so he's got really nice damn timing, and then the straight shots as well. He's got the straight shots with which that reach is really going to come into play. I mean, beating a guy like Haider Emil, who is damn durable, is aggressive as hell, destroys him in 26 seconds, is disgusting. And when Jose Miguel Delgado fights, it's just consistent. He's got strike timing down pat. He's got volume. He's got the reach advantage over most of his opposition, and he can utilize it so well. And he's got the timing with his wrestling offense. He's got the takedowns, which can give Wood problems as well. And I realistically think, firstly, I mean, Jose Miguel Delgado is getting my Fighter to Watch award. And with a Fighter to Watch award, usually when it's an award, they're winning. And Jose Miguel Delgado is winning here. He's going to get the KO TKO. I just think Nate Wood can't deal with the impact, the snap on Delgado's shots. And especially with Delgado being so big, Wood doesn't have like an escape plan. Like, he does have some wrestling, but it's not going to be anything to just overwhelm Delgado. And staying on the feet, I mean, Wood, if he can circle on the outside and keep Delgado at bay and rip his body to bits to slow him down, he might stand a chance. But I think that's honestly a heavy ask, even with how experienced Wood is. Jose Delgado has just got too much power. He's got the timing. He's well-rounded. He's just a damn killer. He's getting the KO TKO in the first 2 rounds in this fight. I'm really high on him. He's someone that's going to crack the top 15 sooner rather than later. He is a beast. He can win by any method here, and it's going to be the most brutal one. Next up, Matheus Camilo versus Abdul Karim Al-Selwady. Now, this in this card where it's positioned, I honestly think this could be the first fight on the card. I'm not really keen for this one. I'm pretty much keen for every fight except this, to be honest. But there is a part of it that I am excited for, which I will get to. But Abdul Karim Al-Selwady, obviously, you know, him fighting on this card, he's technically from the UAE, so he's the hometown guy. And, you know, aside from Khamzat Chimaev, the UAE is having a real stretch with that, because Yahya is not doing fucking shit. Like, he sucks. And Abdul, this guy, like, he's not the greatest, to be honest. Like, he is a slight favorite here. Do I agree with that? Not really. I'm not going to lie. The guy has been super inconsistent. He's had so many fights cancelled. Granted, not all his fault, but he's chinny, 8-4 with KOs. Like, on the other side, offensively, he has the power and he's got the striking volume overall. But Camilo, from what we've seen from him, he firstly is more active, which is crucial, and he's a more well-rounded fighter. He just utilizes more of a just full MMA game in his fights, and he is more accurate with his striking. And when it comes to Abdul's chin being susceptible, Camilo does have power in his hands, and Camilo is good at holding the center. Very good at holding the center, being aggressive as well. Now, he can't get over aggressive to the point where Abdul could just clip him and take him out. That's definitely a chance of that, but Camilo does a good job of mixing up his game, like just getting to the hips, trying to get it to the ground, find submissions. Like, if he's getting this to the ground, I don't think Abdul Karim has much to offer, to be honest. Like, it's just the deeper toolbox for me from Camilo, and I think it's just a favorite in Abdul's favor because he just sways being from the Middle East, but I don't see it helping him that much, to be honest. I think Camilo, honestly, mixing up his game to the point, I think he's going to wrestle him pretty well. And then I think when it starts back on the feet in like the second round, like, there's not really anything to this. I just think Camilo is just going to fuck him up so bad. Like, I think he's going to drop him and then he's just going to KO him, like flatline him with ground and pound. And I'm just randomly just going to give Camilo my Finish of the Night award here. I think it's just going to be one of those cards where you just have like this random fight down the card where the finish is so fucking brutal and you just don't know either of the fighters if you're like
semi-casual, and I think that's just what's going to happen here. It's just my random hunch. And, you know, for odds as well, like, there's money either side for this, so it's decent, but I'm taking Camilo as an underdog here, to be honest. Like, more well-rounded, has been more active, and I think he's just got the tools there to open Abdul up more, and that's where I think he's going to land a nice clean hook in there, drop him, get the ground and pound, and finish the hometown dude. Next up, Ikram Aliskerov versus Jun-Young Park. Now, this is more competitive than I think a lot of people think. 3-1 underdog for Jun-Young Park, I think, is a bit disrespectful. Now, Ikram, he is good, obviously. Russian cat, like, huge power, got submissions, you know, all this, yada, yada, yada. But he hasn't necessarily lived up to that kind of hype. You know, he got destroyed by Robert Whittaker, and his wins are against pretty poor opposition. You know, I don't think it's been anything great. You know, Andre Muniz, who's just 1 foot in the grave, and then bloody, what's his name? The guy, Alves, Wally Alves. Yeah, the guy that looked absolutely incredible on tough in his season, then just kind of went down the drain. And Ikram's just beating guys like this, and then people get really hyped on him, and then we see what happens when he fights Robert Whittaker and gets absolutely fucked up. And that's where I think it's really got to be taken into account when it comes to an underdog like Jun-Young Park, being a 3-1 dog, and a guy that's, firstly, a lot more experience with better opposition, like fighting guys like RoboCop, Gregory Rodriguez, fighting guys like Anthony Fluffy Hernandez and Brad Tavares, who's very seasoned as well. And he's made pretty much all of the fights competitive. I mean, he's well-rounded, he's got nice back control and good clean boxing too. And he's good. Like, the dude is good, and he does stand a chance in this fight. But I will say, overall, even though I'm shitting on him, Ikram does have the strike speed, the power, and most importantly, I think in this matchup, the strength overall on his side. I think in clinch-based exchanges and making it dirty, I think Park is susceptible to being overwhelmed. To be honest, that's what Gregory Rodriguez did to him, and I think this could be a similar point here. And Aliskerov has got that volume on him. You know, he's got the volume, 7 significant strikes landed per minute, and he's got a 3-inch reach advantage in this fight too. And there's a strong chance he could take Park out in the first round if Park's just lackadaisical. But with Park being so defensively sound overall, I think Aliskerov can do some work early when he is fresh in the first 2 rounds, but I think Park can put Aliskerov in trouble towards the 3rd round, especially with cardio difference and just that defense and timing overall, if Aliskerov can't get him out of there early, which Aliskerov definitely can, but I think it's just more credit to Park in terms of the game that he does have over 15 minutes, and that's where I think Aliskerov is going to win a decision here. I think he's going to win a 29-28. I think just with his just power, impact, and pressure in the first 2 rounds, he's going to take those first 2. But then Jun-Young Park, I think he's going to give him something back in the 3rd round, but ultimately too little too late. Now, next up on the card, and we can really see the oil money coming through now, Ludovit Klein versus Mateusz Rebecki. Take my money, take my kidney. This is a sick fight. Any fight with Rebecki in it, you know it will be a banger. Time after time. Diego Ferreira, when he fought him, I mean, granted he lost, but awesome fight. Mick DeBeck oral buy, crazy. Chris Duncan, insane. Mateusz Rebecki brings it every damn time. He's fought great guys. He's an absolute bull in the first half of the fight. In the first 7.5 minutes, he is just insane. And he can overwhelm with pressure. You know, he's very good with his volume, and he's good with his left hooks as well. Very, very clean with those power hooks, and very, very good with his straight shots too. But Klein on the other side, he's very, very good. We know this guy's just good everywhere. Rebecki is good everywhere as well. You know, bloody 16 finishes to his name, and he's got the submission base there too. And Ludovit Klein, you know, 17 finishes to his name. These guys just have finishes absolutely everywhere. But Ludovit Klein, the dude is more so well-rounded. Across 15 minutes, I think he's just cleaner, to be honest. Like, he really is. Like, he came up short against Gamrot, but he's not losing to another Polish bloke, man. It's not going to happen. Klein will have addressed that wrestling to a certain extent, which Gamrot just kind of ran him over with. But in that point, Rebecki doesn't have the same wrestling pedigree that Gamrot has, that Ludovit Klein is going to have to face. And Klein has the cleaner striking, to be honest. He's got the cleaner boxing. He's got the huge reach advantage here, which Rebecki always suffers with because he's just a fucking muscle nugget. But Ludovit Klein can use that reach extremely well. 6.5 inches of reach in that, and he's just going to be able to pressure Rebecki back after round 1, and I think he's going to be able to win round 2 and round 3. He's just ultimately just better with his tools when it comes to just kickboxing in general. He's got more tools there. I think it's going to be back and forth with the boxing early in the first round. Like, it's going to be an amazing fight in that first round. I can already see it. There's going to be a lot of boxing, dirty boxing. There's going to be wrestling in there from both sides. There's going to be submission attempts too. Like, stamp this with the fucking Fight of the Night award. Come on. I mean, this is just going to be so good from all avenues of MMA, especially with the pace that both of these guys set. But Ludovit Klein moving through the second half of the fight is seriously going to be taking over. He's got the power there. He's fine getting pressured as well, and Rebecki is not. So if Rebecki slows down, which Klein has the wrestling to deal with Rebecki to make sure that happens, if Rebecki isn't lasting the 15 minutes, then Klein is going to be able to get this done. I think rounds 2 and round 3, I think that's where he's really going to pull through. He's going to stop Rebecki pressing forward. He's going to use cleaner boxing combinations and Rebecki gets more tired. And he's got the strength in the clinch-based exchanges just like Rebecki has. But yeah, Ludovit Klein, I think he's not going to be able to get out of it unscathed. Ludovit Klein's going to be taking some damn damage in this fight, I'll say that now. But he's just more crisp than Rebecki over 15 minutes. Fight of the night, going to be an awesome one, but Klein, as the favorite, just is going to be getting this one. Now, moving up the card, we got Alexander Rakic versus Azamat Murzakanov. Now, Azamat Murzakanov, 10th ranked, 15-0, almost a 100% finish rate, and he deserves the top 10 shot, without a doubt. And Alexander Rakic, I love him. And unfortunately, since his Yarn loss, he just has not been the same. And granted, he's lost to great opposition like Magomed Ankalaev and like Yuri Prochazka. But stylistically, Azamat Murzakanov is a difficult matchup for him. Rakic works extremely well at kickboxing range and has got really nice long combinations. We saw him literally rip Jimmy Manuwa's head off, but Azamat Murzakanov, he's got good strike defense. He can close the distance effectively. And if this is a kickboxing range, Rakic has the tools to knock Murzakanov out, especially with their size differences. Like, Rakic is ginormous. Like, especially just in light heavyweight in general, he is ginormous. He could be a heavyweight. But Azamat Murzakanov is obviously on the much smaller side for light heavyweight. But the reason why he's done so well is because of what he is so good at, and that is that damn boxing. His boxing, his power, his volume, and his accuracy in that close quarter exchange is just going to be so decisive, because Rakic has some of like the weakest hands in the top 15 in terms of just power and just overall technique with his striking from his boxing specifically. He is at a big disadvantage at that range, and Azamat Murzakanov, the dude just simply knows how to close the distance effectively. He's done it time and time and time again. He's absolutely chinned everyone except for Dustin Jacoby. And Rakic needs to take a page out of Jacoby's book. He needs to make sure that he's keeping Murzakanov at range, but I just don't think he's going to be able to do it. And when it comes to being able to throw bombs with those hands and just being more technical overall as a boxer, I think Murzakanov is going to finish Rakic. Like, it pains me to say, because I really like Rakic. I'd love for him to become a champion, but Azamat Murzakanov, even though the guy's 36, the guy is just showing no real weaknesses. He's also got a wrestling game as well. Doesn't utilize it a huge amount, but it's something that Rakic, if Rakic tries to hope shoot on Azamat, like, Azamat's just not going to allow that to happen, because firstly, Azamat, when it comes to his lower center of gravity, he's going to be so hard to take down, and he's from Russia. The dude's got some form of background there, and we know it. So yeah, Azamat, he's getting the finish here. I think there's just too many flaws at boxing range for Alexander Rakic, and I see Azamat testing the waters in the first round, going to land some clean shots, but in the second round, I think that's where Rakic shells up a little bit like he did against Ankalaev. then Azamat really gets those boxing combinations, starts ripping Alexander Rakic to the body, goes upstairs, then clips him with a hook, drops him, ground and pound TKO.
Next up, Alexander Volkov versus Jailton Almeida, the title eliminator fight for the heavyweight division. This division is so dry, it needs help, but these guys, I do like them both, to be honest. Volkov, the guy has looked incredible in his new stint. I mean, obviously, he had the Ciryl Gane loss, which he arguably could have won, and he beat guys like buddy Sergey Pavlovich, absolutely nullified the dude. Like, Volkov has looked really, really good ever since kind of like UFC 293, where he took out Tai Tuivasa and has kind of gone on a run. And yeah, he's got the kickboxing pedigree, as we know. There's a very big contrast in styles in terms of their MMA games that we've seen. Volkov, the long, rangy striker, good at circling along the outside, good at timing his shots. And Jailton Almeida, we know this guy loves a takedown, loves to try and absolutely wrestle fuck the dudes to the point where he can either find a submission or just gets the position over the submission. And I say that especially because that's what's really going to be coming into play in this fight. Like, Jailton Almeida, lower center of gravity, he's realistically going to be taking Volkov down. I don't see Volkov being able to stuff all of Jailton's shots. And if Jailton gets Volkov down, it's going to be real hard for Volkov to get back up, because Jailton transitionally and with his weight on top, he's going to be tough to deal with. And like Volkov, I think in terms of his submission-based game, I think defensively, I feel like he has improved. Obviously, there's not like any huge evidence of it because no one's really tried to submit him. But yeah, realistically, from what we've seen of Volkov in his history, it's not the greatest. Because I mean, we've seen, you know, Tom Aspinall destroy him with a submission, key lock submission. And then we saw Curtis Blaydes take Volkov down and hold him for 19 minutes. Over 19 minutes. And I mean, Jailton Almeida, granted, he's not as heavy as a guy like Curtis Blaydes, but he's a guy that's so fast transitioning on the ground and is going to be able to find positions where he can hold Volkov. And Jailton's going to show that urgency. And because Volkov, you can't allow Volkov to just stay on the feet and kickbox with you, because he's going to win. Like, if this stays on the feet, Volkov will win. I mean, Jailton Almeida, funnily enough, a fun fact, if you didn't know, Almeida actually has a boxing base. Like, his grappling isn't actually like his first initial thing. Like, his base is boxing. He started in boxing, and he actually does have good hands. He's got nice low output combinations. Like, he's good with his timing and his accuracy of his strikes, especially with the straights, and he's got impact on his shots. But going against a guy like Volkov, who is just better with his timing overall and using all different types of tools, yeah, Almeida's going to want to get this to the ground. He's got to show the urgency within that. He's going to get Volkov to the ground. He's going to control him. And I think stylistically, love Volkov. He does stand a good chance in this fight. Don't get me wrong, but I think the odds are correct here. And that's where I think Almeida is going to get the decision. I'm going to give him a 29-28. I think Volkov, in one of those rounds, he's going to stop Almeida. I think he's going to be able to stop him from getting the takedowns. He's going to land some nice teeps, land nice shots, circle along the outside, just really push Almeida off his hips. But I think the other two rounds in that, I think Almeida is just going to impose his will and get the win here. Next up the card, we have Umar Nurmagomedov versus Mario Bautista. Now, we know Umar Nurmagomedov is coming off his Merab Dvalishvili loss at UFC 311. And Bautista, on the other side, is on some damn mad momentum. The guy's on an 8-fight win streak. He literally just outworked Patchy Mix fantastically well. And honestly, I really like Mario Bautista. I mean, if you haven't already seen my most hated fighters in every division video, I'll leave that in the description below. But Mario Bautista's in there, and yeah, there are a lot of people that don't like him. But look, honestly, I do. I think he's an entertaining fighter, to be honest. Like, I think he showed that in that Patchy Mix fight. Like, he's fast on the feet. He's got good hands. I mean, the Aldo shit aside, like, I think that he is a good fighter. And I think it is a little bit ridiculous that he is a 5-1 underdog in this fight. Umar Nurmagomedov
don't get me wrong, is good, and genuinely, I think he is the better fighter. But Umar Nurmagomedov, he's facing a guy that is well-rounded. I mean, he's facing a guy that is on a humongous win streak, and realistically, like, Mario can give Umar some problems when it comes to the hand speed, when it comes to that striking, and when it comes to that transition-based game on the ground. He does have tools there. He does have submission-based offense, 6-1 with subs, but we can't really beat around the bush here. There are levels here. I mean, for Mario to beat Umar, you either have to be a Marab to just drown out the cardio over 25 minutes. We don't have 25 minutes. We've only got 15. Or you need to be a guy like Beksat Almacan and almost take Umar Nurmagomedov's bloody head off in the first round to beat him. And Bautista doesn't have the power in his hands, and he's not going to be able to really press on that front foot to try and knock him out, because Bautista doesn't want to get taken down by Umar, because Mario can match the speed of Umar on the feet. Umar obviously has more tools with the Taekwondo base, but that's where Mario, I think he's just want to be wanting to stay on the feet more so, because he doesn't want to lose out to control time in a 15-minute fight. That's where it's so dangerous for him. But he's got really nice straight shots, and that's something that can really tag Umar, and I think it will. I think it will tag Umar, but that's where I only see that happening a bit in the first round. And aside from that, dude, honestly, Umar Nurmagomedov is going to be taking a decision here. I think if Corey is able to out-transition Mario to an extent and then submit him, granted, it was a long time ago, but Umar Nurmagomedov is going to be able to do that, because Umar literally did that to Corey recently. And Mario is durable, he's got great movement, but Umar is simply just better, more adept on the ground, and has more tools at more ranges on the feet. At boxing range, I think Mario puts in the work, and Umar really has to be like, okay, shit, I need to do something. But Umar, with the Taekwondo tools, his strike speed, accuracy, and power, and the ground game advantage overall, I do see Umar getting a 29-28 decision. Honestly, could be a 30-27, but I think in one of the rounds, possibly the second round, I think Mario does a good job of stuffing takedowns and landing clean shots on the break. But aside from that, he's losing the fight, and he's losing his win streak. Now on to the co-main event. We have got Virna Jandiroba versus McKenzie Dern. As we know, Zhang Weili, she relinquished the belt. She's going up to fight Valentina Shevchenko in a couple months, or next month, I think. And when we get this matchup, I mean, both of these girls have similar styles, and they've both fought before. This is a rematch, and what we saw in the first fight is McKenzie Dern did win unanimously. There was control back and forth, but McKenzie Dern's activity overall was better on the feet. But I will say, don't get me wrong, both of them great grapplers, 22 submissions between the two of them. Fantastic on the ground. I think that's the best part of this fight that we get to see, is if it gets to the ground. But I just think Virna Jandiroba is a different level, much more offensive on the ground, and compared to their fight in 2020, which Dern did win, I think Virna has just made the better improvements. And honestly, I think she's been genuinely one of the most entertaining female fighters on the roster. I mean, and that's saying something when it's decisions and submissions all over the place. There's not like a single knockout in sight. And when we look back at their 2020 fight, since then, McKenzie Dern has gone 5-4. Virna Jandiroba has gone 6-1. She's just transitionally so adept. She's made so many improvements, and she's especially made improvements with the striking. I love her jab. She's got a really nice jab. She's got a low output, and she's got high accuracy. It's kind of disrespectful to put it in like the category of MVP, but in a sense, she's kind of like a sniper. She just really likes to pick her shots. She's got the low output, but she's got the high accuracy. Good shot selection and great takedown offense. Now, McKenzie Dern, the big problem with her, and when I look at Virna's obvious striking improvements, McKenzie Dern, she struggles so much to get that fucking head off the center line, and she gets tagged over and over and over again. And don't get me wrong, if Dern presses on the front foot and doesn't let Virna breathe when it comes to that striking, she can outwork her with volume again. And if she really kicks it off the bat straight up, she could win this fight just straight off volume. But Virna is good in the clinch, which we got to see against someone that is as strong as Amanda Lemos, and then she got annihilated on the ground. And with Virna being more accurate on the feet, just landing those good, clean, stiff, straight shots, which McKenzie Dern doesn't move that fucking head, I think she's going to find a lot of success. And she is stronger. Virna Jandiroba is stronger. And don't get me wrong, Dern looked good against Amanda Hebas and Lupi Godinez. She used more head movement in those fights. But Virna Jandiroba has such an offensive submission threat. And when it comes to a takedown, I think Dern is actually going to be concerned about going to the ground here. And that's where, honestly, that's where it can really just close down McKenzie Dern striking a bit more. And that literally, it can just take that much. If it just stops McKenzie Dern's forward pressure, I think Virna Jandiroba can really get ahead in this fight, and so much that firstly, I'm going to be giving her my upset of the night award, and that means she's winning, but I honestly think she's going to be winning this via a dominant decision. Like, I think honestly, it could be to the point where she could get a round 2 or 3 submission here. Like, honestly, when it comes to her armbar finishes, she's extremely dangerous. She's good at transitioning on the ground. There's going to be a lot of scrambles in this fight, and if it does go the distance, it'll be competitive, but I just think the contrast of Virna's improvements overall, I just think when it comes to the ground game offensive threat, the ability to actually at least attempt submissions on the ground to put McKenzie Dern in more danger and favor Virna more with the judges, and just with her being more accurate on the feet and stifling Dern's striking, I think Virna Jandiroba is going to win this fight. And as a $2.15 underdog, I think that's a nice pick to take for a new strawweight champion. Now, finally, we have the main event. We have got Tom Aspinall versus Ciryl Gane. Now, this matchup, I have gone more so in depth in the hot take video for the two of them, which I'll leave in the description below. So I'll make this nice and concise. I definitely recommend you check that video out. But Tom Aspinall, we know this guy as the now undisputed champion. The guy's got the KO power. The guy's got the submissions. You know, he's super fast on the feet. He is an absolute heavyweight specimen. Like, the guy is humongous. I mean, he's got the reach disadvantage here, but I mean, I don't know if it's really gonna fucking matter, to be honest. Like, long story short, Ciryl Gane, $4.40 underdog, makes sense. Like, it really does. Like, Tom Aspinall has shown pretty much no flaws on the feet. Like, unless he's getting flurried backwards, like against guys like Andrei Arlovski for a little bit, there really wasn't anything. Aside from Andrei Arlovski, in the UFC, Tom Aspinall has finished everyone in the first round. He's got 2 minutes and 2 seconds of average fight time. Like, is that going to change here? Well, potentially. I mean, that's in part of my hot take, but when we look at Tom Aspinall and his ability on the feet, the guy has got the hands, he's got the clean boxing, he's very, very good in that close range. And that's where Ciryl Gane, on the other side, he does pose unique threats in the fact that Tom Aspinall has never fought someone as fast as Ciryl Gane. Ciryl Gane has 25-minute experience. He's got cardio on his side. Ciryl, we don't have to worry about that with him. But is he going to be able to use that cardio? Because is he actually going to be able to survive that long? And that's where I think he's going to survive through the first round, but I think the second round he's done. I think Ciryl Gane, you got to give credit where credit's due. He does have the movement on the feet, without a doubt. You know, he's very good at circling laterally on the outside, sticking the jab as well. That's where the 3-inch reach advantage can come into play. Got really nice body kicks. Like, if he's ripping the body to bits of Tom Aspinall, and we don't know Tom Aspinall's gas tank overall going through 3 to 4 to 5 rounds, Ciryl Gane could potentially win this fight if he has that perfect game plan. But it literally has to be perfect for that to happen, because one clip from Tom Aspinall, you're going to sleep. And I'm not even worried about the KO power when it comes to Tom Aspinall versus Ciryl Gane. It's Tom Aspinall shooting a double leg to get Ciryl Gane down, get him to the ground, and getting a rear naked choke finish. And that's where I think it's going to happen in the second round. I think Ciryl Gane is going to do a decent job of circling on the outside, not allowing Tom Aspinall to really get in close and to take him out. But honestly, it's such a hot take. Like, Tom Aspinall, my face will not move at all if we just see Tom Aspinall take out Ciryl Gane in the first round. Because we look at Ciryl Gane against Tai Tuivasa. Like, Tai Tuivasa was able to clip Ciryl Gane effectively in their fight. Tai Tuivasa is like a million times slower than Tom Aspinall, dude. Like, Tom Aspinall, if he clips Ciryl Gane in that position, Ciryl was going to sleep for good. Like, it's done. And that's where, you know, Ciryl Gane's got to make sure that he's defensively sound along the outside. And that's where I think with his tools and how fast he is, I think there is that potential for him to do that, to circle along the outside to make sure he's not getting clipped. But then Tom Aspinall, at that point where he gets Gane down, yeah, it's pretty much over. But Ciryl Gane, got to give credit where credit's due. He has been working on his wrestling, and, you know, there was pretty competitive in that Volkov fight, and, you know, it needed to be improved because we saw what Jon Jones did to him, and we saw what Francis Ngannou did to him as well. They both controlled him with the wrestling, and obviously Jon Jones submitted Ciryl Gane, and that's where Tom Aspinall will have that in the back of his mind where, yeah, I kind of want to make sure that I can get Ciryl Gane out of there faster than Jon Jones can, and I think that's where Aspinall is going to show that urgency. But Ciryl Gane, I think he's just going to be making sure from the learnings of the Jon Jones fight, he's like, I cannot fucking get taken down, and I need to make sure that's not happening. And I'm giving Gane the benefit of the doubt. I could easily be wrong here, and Tom Aspinall could just finish it in the first. But yeah, either way, the odds make sense. Tom Aspinall should be a heavy favorite here. He's got all the tools. Ciryl Gane is ultimately one-dimensional in comparison. And yeah, he's getting the finish here. The submission in round 2, rear naked choke finish. I think he's going to get a double leg. He's going to climb on the back, and I think he's going to take Ciryl Gane out because Ciryl is going to be so hesitant about, you know, really trying to get back up and also trying to defend those ground and pound shots, because any ground and pound shots from Tom Aspinall, you're going to sleep. So I think he's going to be really worried about the ground and pound, and that's where Tom Aspinall is going to find the neck, get under the chin, and sink it in and take him out ultimately. And that's where I got to give Tom Aspinall my performance of the night. I think it's pretty plain and simple. I mean, the guy has to win this fight. Tom Aspinall has to win this because he's got the prospect of Alex Pereira at the White House potentially. You know, he's got a lot riding on this, and especially being a former opponent of Jon Jones, there's a lot of mental battles riding on this as well, and I think he's going to deliver. I don't think anyone beats Tom Aspinall. I think he is literally the most dangerous person on this whole entire planet, and yeah, he's going to show it at UFC 321. So there you have it. This has been the predictions and breakdown for UFC 321. I really hope you enjoy the pay-per-view when it comes around, and please let me know your picks in the comments below. I'm very interested to see those and chat to you guys about it. Please like, comment, subscribe. It goes a long way for the channel. If you haven't already, check out the video just here on the screen if you want to see more MMA based content, and I will catch you in the next one.